Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into a new edition of the Batter Up Podcast, sponsored by the Dugout of Millwood here on the Sports Insanity Network. Mike, the old ops guy, Danny Boy Reginald, with you, gentlemen. Good morning. How are we?
Tired, and the weather outside is not looking great.
Yeah, I mean for one thing it's sunny and humid right now. Later on in DC there might be potential floods in the area, which is never fun. Never fun covering floods.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to rain down here too. So
Yeah.
can't argue with it. Although I'll take that over the 100 degrees it's supposed to be on Tuesday.
Don't tell me about that. I'll be in New York, by the way, this week, so um you know.
Moving back to Queens
Yeah, for the
for a week.
so yeah.
For a week. Back to where it all began.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 minutes from your house, where the Metsies are streaking, big time streaking.
Oh, yeah, 6 in a row. What a way to end the game last night, too. Ooh,
He got ups.
Pete, a lot. I didn't know polar bears could jump that high, to be honest with you.
Ouch.
He was reaching for a Coke.
Shout out Coke.
So, yes, unless you've been under a rock.
Not a sponsor. There you go, Patch.
If you've been under a rock, the Mets are taking a 6-0 start coming out of the break.
Mhm.
But
we'll start there. We'll start on the other side of New York, though, because Dan's team got some, well, let's say it's bad news and good news same time.
No, bad news. All of it's bad.
All right, according to Dan, all of it's bad.
All of it's bad.
Aaron Judge goes to the injured list with a flexor tendon issue.
Yeah.
According to Aaron Boone, there is no structural damage. And according to Aaron Boone, it's going to be a 10-day IL stint. And then when Judge comes back, he will be the DH for at least 10 days. And Giancarlo Stanton will have to play the outfield. So, Dan, I'm coming to you first. We've talked about the Yankees' struggles over the last month plus. What is your reaction to Aaron Judge going down on the injured list?
Judge was hurting in Toronto. This is I've been talking to my Yankee friends all across the board. Like, the fact that he was hurt in Toronto with the elbow issue and Aaron Boone still played him is very concerning about how he manages, about how he takes care of his players. Like, it's a disaster. Obviously it could have been worse, and we're glad that it's just a strain on the flexor strain, right? And not any structural damage to the ligaments and the elbows and everything, because once you tear a ligament there, that's Tommy John surgery. You can play after healing for like a month on Tommy John surgery as a hitter. However, it's really, really, really tough, when you're hurt. So when I saw the Judge going on the injured list, um, it spells out we're cooked right away, because that's what the Yankees are. They're cooked. Now, can I say that, is it possible that the Yankees can go on a run without him? Of course. but I don't know how much without Judge the Yankees are going to bring. It's just very tough right now. It's tough because we don't have our best player. Of course, we can rely on like Cody Bellinger. Of course, we can get a Jazz Chisholm rolling. But Judge is our guy. And if he's not here, like, it's a problem. Now, they did go out and get your boy Ahmed Rosario last night.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, he'll be a big piece in the lineup now. But then again, like I don't know how much of a piece he's gonna be. Like I haven't seen enough of Rosario this season to really judge that. I know when he was with the Mets, he was very productive, but I don't know anything from this season.
He's crushing lefties, I know. So he's going to play a lot against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so he's gonna play a lot against the lefties. Maybe. I don't know. He might play every day. He may have to. He may have no choice. Um, but look, I didn't watch enough of the Nationals to to get a sense of what he's like. I know I'm in the DC area, but let's be honest, the Nationals are terrible. Like it's a tough watch.
Yeah, it's fair.
When Ahmed Rosario was a Met, he was a consistent player, but he wasn't that overproductive 50 home run guy that people were making him out to be. That's not what he was there for.
Exactly. I think
his defensive skills are very good. I'm not going to put him in the top 20 or anything, but he's a good defensive player. Like Mike said, he is killing lefties, but for someone like him, his swing was made for Yankee Stadium. Those short porches could play very well to his line drive hits. So I absolutely understood the Yankees need and want to take on someone like him. And plus, they didn't give up much of anything to get him.
Yeah, it was short end prospects,
Clayton Beater and someone else.
Yeah, it was nobody big, but this will give the Yankees some depth.
Of course, we wish him the best in DC and everything, but look, I'll take it. I'm not mad at it. I'm just concerned that it's just not going to be enough to really get out of this massive hole that we're in. Especially now with Judge hurt. I just don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. So that's where I'm at right now with this team. I think the Yankees are kind of cooked, but let's see. Maybe they can surprise me. Maybe McMahon goes back to 24 McMahon, where he was a beast and an all-star, along with his great defensive play. Maybe you just need to get out of Colorado, which totally understandable.
Totally understandable.
Colorado's terrible.
They got blown out again last night, 18-0 to the Orioles.
Yeah.
They're the fourth team in baseball history to lose 2 games by at least 18 runs in the same season. I think that was the stat. Here's my two things on Rosario. My first question is, where's he playing? Is he going to platoon with McMahon at third base? Is he going to give Anthony Volpe some time off because we know how much he struggled defensively? Is he going to play second base? We know Jazz is there. So where's Rosario playing? That's my first question. And Dan, to your point, without Judge, this time still has power. You still have Bellinger. You still have Stanton. Goldschmidt can run into one. Grisham's had a nice year. Austin Wells, they can all run into one. But the presence of Aaron Judge not being there is going to hurt this lineup.
Yeah. And in a lineup that's already hurting because they cannot get hit.
Lineup that's already not deep enough.
Yeah.
And the other problem I have is this, and I don't know who asked the question to Boone post game because it was the only time I've ever watched a Yankee post game because I wanted to know about the Judge situation.
By the way, Boone has been terrible with the media always.
Why would you not give this opportunity to see what Spencer Jones could be? I don't need to see Giancarlo Stanton in the outfield. He can't run.
Well, we may see Rosario in the outfield, if anything.
He's also, yeah, he was trained and played at left.
Okay, so when Judge comes back, all of a sudden Judge is DHing.
Yeah.
If Rosario's playing the outfield with Bellinger and Dominguez, that means Stanton's bat's out of the lineup.
Damn, I didn't, Ben, you came to that
Yeah,
quickly.
yes and
Jesus.
no. Yes and no. Because you put Rosario at left, Dominguez is center, Bellinger in right. Stanton as your DH.
No, I'm saying for when Judge comes back, though.
Is Judge gonna come back? I mean, I don't know.
The way Boone made it sound, he said it's going to be like 10 days and he's back. I don't know.
But Boone's done this crap before too, where he's like, it's just going to be a short stint, and it ends up not being a short stint. Like,
I'm not disputing that, but the way he made it sound was like, yeah, this is going to be, he'll be back in the 10
see,
days.
I'm more of a I'll believe it when I see it type of thing.
I'm with you. I'm just taking the manager for his word.
Yeah.
If you look at the play that Judge got injured on, and if you looked at it closely, his reaction should make you feel better as a Yankee fan because he was only grimacing a little bit. He didn't stop. He didn't get down to hold the arm. And just a strain. I'm not saying he'll be back after the first set of 10 days, but I don't think this is a summer-ending injury.
Yeah, I don't think it's season ended, but it's going to be a problem if he's out for a long period of time.
By the way, here's the other thing. You better hope he doesn't rush himself back.
Right. And
because if he re-aggravates this thing, we're talking Tommy John.
Yeah.
And as much as that is a death sentence for pitchers, as Mike said earlier, if you look at Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge could have the Tommy John surgery, even if it's after the season, and still come back as the DH for the Yankees next year.
Yeah, Bryce Harper.
Yeah, you can probably rest that elbow and play on the torn ligament. You get Shohei's done it before, Bryce Harper's done it before.
Yep.
Like it's not ideal. You're still swinging a bat, but if you get Tommy John surgery, miss a bit, probably about a month, right? And then
at least
hopefully you get back for a September run. The Yankees are still kind of sort of in it, which I don't think they will be. Then fine. But if you rush him back, that's going to be worse.
Right. He can't rush himself back.
Yeah.
That's the other part. The thing you're going to have to do is protect him from himself.
Rosario can fit in the lineup. He's a utility player. We're not asking him to be an everyday guy because I don't think he's suited to be every day for this stage of his career. When he was with the Mets, that was another thing. When he was with Guardians, that was another thing. Here in New York, now with the Yankees, I just don't think that he's fit for the everyday slot. I could be looking at this wrong, but I just don't see a path for him right now.
I think Rosario helps with the Yankees in 3 different areas. Running the bases, because the Yankees do not have a lot of speed. Yeah. Youth, the Yankees have a lot of youth, but this actually lowers their average age and gives them a little bit more life, whether it's going to be a third or left field, because if he's playing left field, that's an instant upgrade from Stanton. Okay. Is his arm as good as Stanton's? No. That much I can say, but he can play the position. I think the Yankees got it right with picking him up and basically picking him up for chips.
Sorry.
You mentioned Spencer Jones. He's probably going to be a September call-up. Like, that's my guess. Or they can go Gary Sanchez and bring him up after a trade line.
Gary Sanchez.
Remember when they needed a catcher? Let's get Gary
Hey, the
Sanchez.
Mets took him. We had a home run with him
He raked after
for the Mets. He sure did.
Remember when the Yankees they gave up everything? They're like, oh, we're selling, and then they went on this massive run in August and September, almost made the playoffs. That was the funniest thing ever.
But that's why I never count the Yankees out until the season's officially over.
Yeah.
I also remember the run Jesus Montero went on, and then he was never heard from again.
Or Danny Almonte.
Anyway, for the Yankees, the games judge will likely miss today, the last game against the Phillies, 4 games against the Rays this week, and then 3 with the red hot Miami Marlins next weekend.
You see, when we went over these series against these teams on Bombers Banter, me and Billy Boy, you check it out every month. We certainly didn't think the Yankees would be in this spot where they're going to be hurt and their bullpen is going to be terrible and Max Fried's not going to win any games. Like it, yeah, it's been rough. Been rough to watch. Yeah, this is a big series against the Rays. Look, the Yankees have been awful against their division. They only have like 11 wins. And that's not good enough. Like we have to dominate in the division if you want a division. Now I think it's a little out of hand now, but that's not good. That's not good for them. And on top of that, knowing that you have competition in the wild card now, with more teams gaining traction, it's a big deal to get wins in the American League. So try to separate yourself at the very least.
To that point, the Yankees are a game up on the Mariners, who are a half game up on the Red Sox for those 3 wild cards. And then Texas, Tampa, Cleveland, Kansas City, Minnesota, and the Angels are all within 5.5 games of the Boston Red Sox for that last wild card spot.
There's some gap, but not a very big one.
There's not a big gap.
Well, it's their fault because they decided to go on a terrible.
I remember at one point they were 6 up in the division on Toronto, and now Toronto's up 6.5. So that's the story of the Yankees. Is Aaron Judge goes down. Obviously, Aaron Boone said 10 days. We'll have to wait and see. All right. On to what today is. And today,
It's Sunday.
the class of 2025 will get inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. A class headlined by the trio voted in by the writers of Ichiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner, all getting in, along with Dave Parker and Dick Allen.
Yeah.
Who are
both deserving, and the last
committee.
2, absolutely. Yeah. The last 2 I'm happy made it in. Not to say I'm not happy about the first 3. Just glad to see Dave Parker got his due.
The unfortunate thing is Dave Parker passed away about a month ago, so he will not be there to accept the award. His family will. So
yeah, and of course, Mike just nailed it. The fact that The last two are posthumously being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see the. If you want to watch the ceremony, I believe MLB Network carries it this afternoon.
Usually do. Yeah.
I'm excited for CC, man. Like, he deserves it.
Did you see him driving to Cooperstown? His car actually broke down.
Oh God. Poor guy.
He did eventually get there. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I'll be very happy to watch Billy go in.
you know, all three are so deserving. All
Absolutely.
five, but I'll be honest with you. I didn't get to watch Dave Parker or Dick Allen, so I can't really talk about them.
I did.
But
Everyone,
I'm,
everyone that's watched him that I've asked
oh yeah,
has
like my dad talks very highly of Dave Parker.
The sound the ball made off that bat of his. Unreal.
But you know, and then you could talk about CC a little bit because he changed the fortunes
Yeah.
of the New York Yankees, also of the '08 Mets, because he had to be a jerk with the Brewers, but that's a whole nother
Yeah.
conversation. Uh, but CC, if you want to take a little bit of time to talk about Mr. Sabathia.
Yeah, CC was big workhorse, even late in his career. He provided that big spark that the Yankee pitching staff needed. Um, at the time, before we got CC, the best pitcher on the staff was Mussina, who was uh, literally at the end of his career. It was that, it was Pettit, and then basically nobody else. So I know we had Chiming Wong, but he got hurt and was never the same since he got hurt. So, you know, he was the spark that they needed when coming out of that '08 season where it was not the greatest season. It was an up and down season. Obviously, Girardi's first season as manager. Um, Yankees ended up missing the playoffs. So not only did it provide that big spark for the pitching staff, but it set the tone for the entire season, that '09 season, where the Yankees were going to be dominant, hitting wise, pitching wise. The Yankees were going to be dominant, and they were. So it was that just going off of that, and then his pitching was solid. He was a big time strikeout guy. He always went 100 plus pitches. Never complained about it. 80 pitches was literally like what 50 pitches is now for pitchers. You know, like it was nothing. So, this guy used to throw like 130 pitches a night. Workhorse. We don't have that anymore. It was very, very, very awesome watching some of his highlights. The big time strikeouts, you know, and just that unbelievable, unbelievable swag that he had. That really changed the game and fortunes of the franchise.
In an '09, him coming over, him, Burnett, Teixeira. But man, they don't win that World Series without CC
Yeah.
Sabathia and his
And,
performance.
and ultimately, it worked out
Yep.
that first season. I'm glad it worked out right away. Now, look, the Yankees made the playoffs a bunch of times after that, but the fact that we got 10 years out of CC and we ended up getting a World Series out of it, it was a great deal to get. It worked out, and I'm very happy about that. And it's great to see him in the Hall of Fame.
All right, Mark, you want to take the second enter Sandman?
The
You
fake,
had to ruin my opening.
the
Oh,
fake
I was
one.
about to say, excuse me. Billy Wagner used it first. It was Billy Wagner's. However,
Mhm.
Mariano made the song much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Metallica made it better.
Well, Metallica sang a great song. Getting to the chase here. Billy Wagner, one of the top three closers I ever watched play the game. I got to watch John Franco for a very long time, and he was always a fan favorite. But, if you look at Wagner over his first 9 years in Houston, the term dominance is really a weak word. It should be a much stronger word. When he went over to the Phillies for his next 2 years after 2003, we knew that wasn't going to last long. And when the Mets grabbed him, the 4 years he was with the Mets, he averaged 31 saves and a 2.21 ERA. That's lights out. Wagner, whether he came out of when he came out in Houston or in Shea Stadium when he came out, that stadium rocked. And I remember being at the Subway Series regular season when he came out, and Yankee fans just started leaving because they knew it was over. And that was in the 2000 season. Um, Wagner, definitely one of the best left-handed closers to ever probably play the game with the slider he has, that fastball that could touch into triple digits at times, the changeup, which he rarely used, and that great slider. Um, Wagner definitely deserving of a Hall of Fame spot with 422 saves, a lifetime ERA of 231. The question is going to become who's he going to go in as? And I haven't read up enough if he has
I
decided
think he's
yet.
going in as an Astro.
That's
And
what
that would make, and no offense to the Mets, I mean, that's the right decision as the team that not only brought him to the major league, but he did spend 9 years with them. So, you're doing right by Houston. It's not a diss towards any other team.
Yeah, I think he's going in as an Astro. I think CeCe's going in as a Yankee.
And that makes sense, though. He had his best
And
years as a Yankee.
yeah.
Ichiro's going in as a Marlin.
CZ could also use the backwards cap.
No,
Why
that's
not?
it. You're joking, Mike. Ichiro's going in as a Marlin. You better be
Ichiro's
going in
going in as a Mariner.
I was about to say, come on.
Sorry, Marlins fans. I kind of had to.
He can
Almost had me, too.
CC could also go in with a backwards hat and just say, "Hey, look, I played for all these teams and I had great seasons with everyone." So, you know,
I mean, he could go in as a Brewer just for that half season he had no
yeah.
Jeez.
It
What
also
a run
wouldn't
that
shock,
was.
it also wouldn't shock me if he went in as a Cleveland Indian, and I wouldn't be mad at that. I get it.
Okay. I just believe he's going in as a Yankee. I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure on that.
I'm with Mike though. I think he is going to.
I think he's going in. Yeah, so Ichiro and CeCe were on the ballot for the first time. Just to
Both
look
deserving to be in.
yeah, just looking ahead to next year's first timers. Mark's guy Cole Hamels will be on the ballot for
No
the first time.
way.
Steroid infested Ryan Braun will be on the ballot for the first time.
No.
Getting in.
And then other notable first timers include Shin Soo Choo, Edwin
No.
Encarnacion, Alex Gordon, Matt Kemp, Nick Markakis, and Hunter Pence.
I would say of any of them, it's Kemp.
Hunter Pence.
They're not going to
And
get
Pence,
in
yeah.
first ballot. Just
Don't
see if they get that 5%.
Yeah, don't diss on Hunter Pence.
I'm not dissing him.
No,
I
he
thought
was
Hunter
good.
Pence
No,
was a
no,
great
I
player.
didn't. No, he was talking about very good ball player for the Giants and throughout his career. But
Very important to those World Series teams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair
Fair
now,
enough.
So if you were someone already on the ballot, that class doesn't really scare you, so you should get some votes.
yeah. Now, and I agree with Mike. Now, if I were to look at Hunter Pence, while I think he's a Hall of Famer, he's like a Scott Rowland Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's gonna wait a little bit.
You know, like, does he deserve getting in the first time around? Probably not. But he's gonna get in.
I don't disagree he belongs. I just don't think he's the first in.
No, I don't
I
think he's
think
the
of the
first either.
whole list you named, there's only one person I see, and it might not even happen. That's Matt Kemp.
Yeah,
He's the only one I see who has the clout to really make a push. But I don't think
I
Hunter
don't.
Pence
I
is going
think
to
the
wait more than 2
injuries.
years. I don't think he'll wait more than 2 to 3 years to get in Pence.
Yeah, I think the injuries. So if you're someone like Andrew Jones who's been waiting, I think next year's a big year for you because that class is not overpowering.
No.
Same with a guy who might go in as a Met, Carlos Beltran. So,
yeah.
and then next year's also the last year on the ballot for Manny Ramirez. So,
Which he definitely
and
will.
he will not go.
He
in.
won't get in, which, I don't know if you want to call it a shame, but
It is a shame
But
because Manny
it's a
Ramirez.
shame. But at the same time, we know now how these voters go about the steroid guys.
Yeah, they've been look, and that's
They've,
one thing that I will give them. They've been very consistent
yep.
with the steroid guys. And so far, that could change if an Alex Rodriguez gets in. You know,
I'm telling you, voters, if you vote him in,
yep,
I'm coming for you.
everybody has to go in. There is no
I'm
We're-
coming for you.
we're sending James Silent Bob after you with going down the list.
Yeah.
The list of Jericho.
And look, I still don't think Alex Rodriguez is going to get enough votes, but if he gets in, there needs to be a special election because Barry Bonds needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Sammy
If that
Sosa
happens, that's the way
needs
Bonds
to be
gets
in the
in,
Hall of
yes.
Fame. Every one of those guys.
Bonds, Clemens,
Wire.
McGuire.
Sosa,
Sosa.
Palmero.
Yep.
Come on now. It won't happen because they've been very consistent with the steroid guys. They've been very consistent. But
Yeah. No, 100%. All right. So we got the Hall of Fame today. And then Thursday's going to be the trade deadline. There's been rumors galore. Both New York teams have already made moves. The Yankees, we talked about Ahmed Rosario and Ryan McMahon.
yeah, McMahon, solid deal defensively. He's taken a bit of a step back hitting wise, so that part I'm kind of concerned about. But if he turns into 24 McMahon, I'm okay. If he stays as what he currently was with the Rockies, that's gonna be a problem.
All right. And the Mets trade for left-handed reliever Gregory Soto from the Orioles.
Good deal. I like it.
Yeah, Juan's cousin. So
yeah. Funny.
Mets are tied to about 7 different players right now. Obviously, it's going to come down to the last minute and plus who they're going to have to outbid for what.
And then Josh Naylor went from Arizona to Seattle.
Yeah.
Although Seattle's gotten some offense recently from Julio Rodriguez, which that if they could get that on a consistent basis, the Mariners just changed the complexion of the American League.
Well, by getting Naylor, you now have put in some protection, not only for Raleigh, but for Rodriguez. So, like you said, Rodriguez has been turning it on lately. So we might see a Seattle run.
And by the way, shout out Cal Raleigh, first player to get to 40 homers
40.
this year.
And we're not even in August yet.
It's a lot of big dumps for a big dumper.
70 is still a ways away. But with the time frame he's done it, could we see 71 this year? I don't know.
Nah.
No.
I think I don't even know he'll get to 60. Just give me 50.
I think he can get to Judge's record.
Oh, you think he can get to 63? Because I think Judge had 62.
Yeah.
See, my thing for Raleigh is this, and this is why I put him as the MVP over Judge. Even if he just gets to 50, I don't care because he's also catching every day. And Mark, you know what that takes on the body.
Yeah, please. I never caught more than 3 days straight. I couldn't.
And
3 days
this kid
after
catches
that,
every day.
I would either DH or they'd ask me to play the outfielder first.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sitting there really in that heat, in that gear. I mean, yeah, Seattle's is a domed stadium, so it's not as high. But you go to Arizona and you're playing catcher, forget it. Even with the door closed, it's 105 degrees.
Yeah. I mean, and Seattle's one of the cooler, more humid-ish climates, right? So when the roof is
Yeah.
open over there, like, but yeah, I mean, look, they need his bat every day, so he has to play almost every day. It gets, yeah,
Here's the other thing. You guys are talking about the weather. That's a big park too in Seattle.
mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
It's not like he's playing in a small place. He's hitting them out in Seattle.
it's big, but it's easy to hit home runs out of because it's an American League ballpark,
It's
which
true. You just get the ball in the
all
air.
American League ballparks are easy.
All right. So anyway, trade deadline. This is from MLBTradeRumors.com. The top 50 trade candidates. One is the guy Dan you brought up earlier, is Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks. He's a free agent at year's end.
Yeah, I don't look. I think the Yankees got McMahon because one, they can control him for 2 more years. They have 30, what, 34 million dollars left on his contract. So that's 2 years. Whereas Suarez would have been a rental.
Mhm.
So I get that. Suarez is better hitting wise. I would have gone with Gino. That's just me. We need the bat. But look, like I said, I can't be mad at it because they do get good defense at third base.
Plus, McMahon is also a utility on the infield. So, God forbid you need him to play second, short, or first. He can play the positions.
But I'm going to need him to primarily play third because I'm not.
Understood. But God forbid
Yeah.
you go down at first. You at least have that option.
Yeah. But Gino's a better hitter. He's a more explosive hitter. Home run power. He'll fit with pretty much any team that needs power. He's that good.
Yeah, according to MLB Trade Rumors, teams interested include the Mariners, Cubs. This had the Yankees too up until the McMahon deal, Mets, Reds, and Phillies. So
Mets,
I don't see the Mets.
the only way it makes sense for the Mets is if they trade Mark Vientos. That's it. If they trade Vientos to Arizona, that's how you bring him to the Mets, and it makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't see. I think you're just putting that out there if they
Yeah.
want to look. Number 2 on this list is Mitch Keller of the Pirates. He has 3 years left on his deal, which begs the question why the Pirates are trading him. But the Yankees, Blue Jays, Cubs, and Mets have all been tied to the 29-year-old. He's had a pretty decent season despite his record.
He's a good back of the end starter. The control is definitely the key on everything because if you have him for a couple years, the less you have to worry about rushing Sporad or any of them up. Mike, you and I have talked about Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly. Of the three, I mean, I'm not going to say that Mitch Keller is the most solid pitcher available, but since we know these three are available off the top, Kelly, Gallen, I know Gallen is the dream, and Keller, to me, of the three, the safest play would be to go for Mitch Keller because of the age and control.
Yeah.
The control is something I do like. But the thing I would tie into this, and I would make an even bigger deal for the Pirates, is if they could include David Bednar in the deal.
Good reliever.
And another name that's been floated out there.
Keller and Bednar, I mean, if you put them together, you're looking at least one of the big four of the Mets.
Well, you got to give to get. So
I understand. It's
ju-
the
as
name.
long as you don't do what the Orioles did last year, you have
Fair
two
enough.
top prospects for Trevor Rogers, you're okay.
Yeah. Well, placing Keller and Bednard in the pitching lab with Hefner is it could work. I mean, it's kind of work with Clay Holmes, right?
Yeah.
So, and all these other pitchers out there. I'm still shocked that David Peterson is the ace of the staff. Like it's incredible. Um, yeah, if you put him in the pitching lab, and somehow you're able to figure out what the Pirates haven't figured out yet. You know, sure. I mean, it's not out of it's not out of the way to go out and get a pitcher like Mitch Keller. It's not.
It
Number,
definitely, sorry, Mike, last thing.
yeah, go ahead.
Grabbing Keller now will prevent the Mets from having to call up any of the three that are down there not to rush into the majors.
Yeah.
Number 3 on the list, I think the most interesting name is Sandy Alcantara. 17 million this year, 17 million next year. And then there's a $21 million club option for 27 or a $2 million buyout. Has not had a great season, but he's coming off a really good start against the Padres.
His ERA is over 7 right now. He's managing about 5 strikeouts a game, which is below what he used to, but as we all know, he's coming back from injury. If there's anybody out there in this trade market willing to take a chance on, this is it. Right here.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Just brought up David Bednar before. He's owed 5.9 the rest of the year. Arbitration eligible through next season. Then there's Edward Cabrera for the Marlins, who's under arbitration through 2028, which again, don't know why the Marlins give up on that.
Nobody can figure out why the Marlins do what they do.
That's a valid point. And even though they're one of the hottest teams in baseball, you still got to question them. Brought up Zach Gallen before. That would be the dream for me, for the Mets.
And now the Angels seem to be ready to unload as they have made Moncada, Anderson, Kenley Jansen, and Taylor Ward available.
But not Mike Trout. Like,
nope. Trout is not on the list.
Trout's going to be an off-season thing if it ever happens.
Yeah, I would move on right now. I mean, you get prospects. You know, Trout goes to possibly a contender. There should be no reason. There should be no
The
reason.
fact that Mike Trout has only made the playoffs once
Yeah,
in an Angel uniform
and
It's disheartening.
And got bounced early, which is the worst part about that.
Yep.
And his injury plagues over his last 5 years have not helped either.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're 5.5 out in the wild card, but I get
I
why
wouldn't
they're
count them
selling.
out either.
Yeah.
They're 5 under.
Look,
They went for it a couple of years ago with Shohei, trying to keep him, but that didn't work.
We've seen the Angels go on a run this season, so it makes
The Angels haven't gone on a run since Angels in the Outfield came out.
right, but it still could happen, you know.
Oh, it could. It could, but let's see. Ryan O'Hearn of the Orioles, who's a free agent after the year.
Not a real big name that's
He's
Merrill
okay.
Kelly.
Not terrible.
not terrible, but
Merrill Kelly, who is a name that Mark brought up earlier. Dylan Cease, who's a name that's come up recently. I think Jeff Passan had it the other day. The Padres are listening on Dylan Cease.
Yeah,
so.
big strikeout guy. He scares me. with the Yankees.
Free agent after the year too. So
The Padres had offered a package to the Red Sox, which would included Duran going to the Padres, and Boston said no.
Yeah, and I understand why. I understand.
Boston said
actually,
no.
if you go Cease and Crochet at the top of a rotation, that's pretty good. 10 on the
Cease has
list.
had an up and down year, so it's hard to just jump at it.
No, but if you're going into a playoff series, a game 1 and 2 is Cease and Crochet.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Talk about
obviously.
CNC Music Factory. Woo-wee. 10 on the list is Seth Lugo.
I think he's going to be re-signed more than traded.
Yeah, he's got 15 million this year, and then he's got an option for next year. 11 is a name mark we've talked about, Luis Robert, center fielder for the White Sox.
And that will be probably one of the biggest package deals for any player if Cease is not made.
Yeah. Then we got Ryan Helsley, the Cardinal closer. He's a free agent after the season.
And Adrian Hauser of the White Sox, who, mind you, has gone under 2 ERA in his last 10 starts, and that's with the White Sox.
Bringing down the Hauser. Also on this list, Raisel Iglesias, the closer of the Braves. Talk about an interesting team come the deadline. The Atlanta Braves.
And with them being close to, what is it, 12 out now?
They are, give me a second.
I believe it's close to that.
In the wild card, they are 11 out of the wild card.
11. Okay. There comes a
three
time where
teams-
you have to. Sorry, go ahead.
3 teams below them are the Pirates, Nationals, and Rockies.
At 11 out, and you're now just coming into August, you have the trade deadline. It's not something you usually see as Atlanta selling off. It's not something that happens often. But if I'm any team and Atlanta's putting players out there, you're listening, because most of these guys have good experience, know how to play in the playoffs. So most of them, I mean, with the exception being Acuna, he's not being traded, all could be useful come postseason.
Continuing the Braves, Marcell Ozuna's on this list. So if you need some impact in your lineup, that's a name to look at. Free agent at season's end. Mark, name you told me about was Charlie Morton, and I told you I have zero interest in Charlie Morton. Dan, you got any interest in Charlie Morton?
No.
Well, if Charlie Morton pitched in Yankee Stadium, he hit one to West. Somebody would hit one to Westchester. But
Very fun.
Actually, honestly, you know what a good fit for Charlie Morton might be? Put him in the back end of the Astro rotation. Bring him back.
that short left field.
But I mean,
But he pitched there. He knows it.
Yeah, a few years ago.
but
He'll be moved, but I just don't know to who.
just saying, it's not a terrible idea for the Astros. You know,
And it's not
I'm
going to cost
saying-
you.
I'm just saying with that short
even if
porch,
it's
it's
even
fine.
if it's as a long man.
Yeah, put him in the pen. Who cares?
You know, he doesn't have to be a factor into anyone's rotation necessarily.
All right, 19, guy we all know, Harrison Bader.
I mean,
I-
I would say about him too, for y'all, because he
I would, nothing against Tyrone Taylor, but Bader, I think, has the better bat.
well, he's also the more exciting player too. You know,
He's also a master.
And we're going to make sure we keep that explicit line out of it.
Then a couple of A's make this list: Jeffrey Springs and J.P. Sears.
They're not going anywhere. They're staying.
Adrian Hauser, who Mark brought up before. Mike Soroka from the Nationals.
Eh.
Cedric Mullins from the Orioles.
See, that's who I thought the Mets were going to get when they were making the move for Soto. I thought it was going to be a two-player deal. I was wrong, but I thought that was the target.
Another Oriole here, Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Hmm.
Let's see. Met legend Phil Maton is on this list.
He's still playing?
He is on the Cardinals.
Wow.
Nats closer Kyle Finnegan.
No, he's too wacky. I wouldn't try it. Very inconsistent.
Brian Hayes of the Pirates.
Brian Hayes?
Brian Hayes.
Right fielder, right?
Third baseman.
Then I'm thinking of O'Neill. No, O'Neill Cruz is shortstop.
O'Neill Cruz is playing center field.
Oh, that's right. He got switched to that. I remember that at the beginning of the season, and he screwed up. Who plays for? Never mind. Go on. I just got positions wrong.
This is a strange one, and I don't know if this actually happens, but the Guardian closer, Emmanuel Clase.
For the Mets, no, it would make no sense in bringing him in. The Mets are one bullpen hand away, and I think that's Griffin Jax. However, for the Yankees,
Yeah, I'm about to say
that would make sense.
No, I was about to say because you can put him definitely setting up a Devin Williams, or you could probably put him at that that top end rotation, the people that can close the games out. You put in a Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver's been struggling, by the way. I think he's still hurt. But you have
Cleveland's only 3 out in the wild card, so I'm not sure if they're going to actually do
No,
this.
I at first because my first try was for Ramirez from the Guardians, but then of course
Yeah.
they started having the run, so it's like, oh crap, they're trying to chase the Tigers, and the Tigers should be worried, by the way.
Tigers should be worried. They have played awful ball.
Like,
Since the second half started, yeah.
yeah, and all of a sudden Cleveland, of course, Cleveland starts going on a run,
I mean,
know
they even
Cleveland
lost on
rocks.
Scooble Day yesterday.
Mhm.
Scooble didn't get the loss, but man,
Yeah. It was not a school day.
he pitched fine. He just had a couple of walks. Then a couple of Twins make the list: Johan Duran and Griffin Jax.
Jax, I want. Got 5 different pitches and can go 2 innings.
Jake Bird of the Rockies. Couple of Marlins on here. See if there's anything else. Adolis Garcia of the Rangers. I don't think goes anywhere because the Rangers are right back in this thing.
No.
Another name, Mark, you brought up to me was maybe bringing back Luis Severino, but
Oakland's actively shopping him, but the deal is because he has a no trade clause, he gets to pick where he goes.
well, the other thing is he makes $20 million next year, and then there's a $22 million player option for 2027.
Right.
A lot of money for a guy.
He would fit anywhere in this league that a team needs a pitcher.
Yeah.
He can blend in almost in any rotation.
I would at least call him.
Yeah.
I
mean, not necessarily the Mets, not necessarily the Yankees. I'm literally saying any postseason he could fit beautifully in rotation with his pitching style.
Boston.
Yeah.
Stick it up the Yankees' ass.
How about the Tigers?
Boston. Tigers, yes.
Tigers right behind Scooble.
And then prove to Scooble you want him by signing him.
The Mariners. I like him I would love him in Seattle.
Definitely give that
rotation's already
rotation a boost.
filthy. Oh,
Now it
Yeah,
might be
but
it might be a little too much money for them, but I would at least see what you can offer. Like it's not a terrible idea. Boost that rotation up.
and then Toronto could also be a play.
Okay, yeah.
Toronto to bring it. Toronto has all it needs to do is just make sure they have depth to get through September.
yeah, because Matt
Adding
Scherzer's
another
getting
pitcher would
another
be a
IL
great
stint.
move for them right now.
And right now he still has that chip on his shoulder because
Yeah.
he's still kind of betting on himself. He bet on himself last year with the Mets, got his contract, and now is still betting on himself because he wants to live up to that contract.
I mean, he pitched beautifully for the Mets last year. I really liked him. I was kind of sad to see him go,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry, it's a business. You're getting offered X amount of money to go here. Hey, I'll just have a great season and get traded back where I want to go to anyway.
Mhm. And keep your
What about a
dot.
place like Cincinnati?
If they were more of a threat, yeah.
All right, so we'll wait and see. Deadline is Thursday. We will have coverage at some point on Thursday about the deadline. So then we got some series we'll talk about. We talked about the Rays and the Yankees already. But Mark, we got the Mets going to San Diego to play the Padres.
This is really the biggest series the Mets have right now. Because if you put the Padres roster and lineup next to the Mets, it's almost similar. The Padres lineup has always scared me now with the Machado and Tatis and yada yada yada. But I think I don't know if the Mets facing Cease because I haven't looked at the 3 games. But I would think it would be in the Padres' best interest not to show Cease.
Hold them back in case you could make a deal. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then a massive series in the NL Central with the Cubs going to Milwaukee to play the Brewers.
Popcorn.
You want to talk the Brewers since I think it's May 12th have the best record in baseball, and it's freaking insane.
Mm. And they do this every time.
They do it every year.
Every time.
Getting Woodruff back was definitely a huge help for the rotation.
Consistently seeing Yelich too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And they're doing this without Rhys Hoskins too,
Right.
offensively.
Who is still down for at least another
Couple
couple
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah. But when they get his bat, like it's gonna be big too. And
Milwaukee's going to be scary come postseason.
yeah. And they need to go after that division. No wild card. Don't put yourself in that spot. You know?
Yeah. So Cubs and the Brewers in Milwaukee. Those. I mean, the Dodgers and the Reds, who are still in the fight for a wild card. Then if we head into the weekend, really good one this weekend would be the Tigers and Philly.
Be fun. That's the pitching would be the more entertaining of the two sides. I would rather
If
watch
you
the
could
pitching
get
matchup.
Scooble versus Zach Wheeler, which we should have gotten at the All-Star game, but I digress. The Astros will go to Fenway this weekend.
Traditional matchup there.
Yeah. Dodgers raising a 2020 World Series rematch.
Dodgers Rays.
Rangers Mariners this weekend.
That's a good series with the Rangers fighting back the way they have.
Yeah. So the Royals will look to stay alive. They head to Toronto to play the Blue Jays, who are the hottest team in baseball.
I was about to say that they're losing that series, meaning KC.
Yeah. So, and then next Saturday, the Reds and Braves are going to be playing in Bristol on the track.
Right. I was reading about that the other day.
I'm
Interesting.
intrigued by how they're going to do it, but we'll wait and see on that one. So
Got to come up with new gimmicks to keep the sport alive.
it's true. How can we get the NASCAR fans? We'll play it on the track.
Play it on the track. Well, the cars are going around the outside. We'll run the car race plus the game on the inside. There you go. See somebody get run over going for a ball. Now that's a sport.
Oh, you know what? Not gonna get into it. All right. Anything else you want to hit on?
The dugout has 2 boxes coming in this week. We'll show the hits from them. Nothing big, but something fun.
All right. Check out the website, thesportsinsanitynetwork.com for great blogs, logs, planes, trains, and automobiles. Follow us on the socials, Twitter, @InsanityReal, Facebook, the Sports Insanity Network. For Mark, Dan, I'm Mike. We'll talk to you all again next week. Have a wonderful Sunday, everybody.
Catch you on the flip.